that you're born an Italian. If you want your life to be great, see that you're born an Italiano, and your life will be great.
How about some Donadell?
That's a nice.
Hey there, Paisani, and welcome back to another episode of the Italian American Podcast. I'm John Viola, along with Brandon Ficarra, stepping in for my normal partner in crime, the notorious POB, doing some coverage here today. We got a guest all of you are going to know and recognize. He has actually been here before. We have a lost episode we recorded sometime in the past in the archive. I don't know where that is, but he is single-handedly making America 10 again. Mike Marino, the one and only. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you,
Mike.
thank
really
you.
Appreciate it.
I'm glad you started with that. What? Am I the only one that got a...
Oh, no, we lose them all the time.
Oh, you lose them all the
So
time.
I hate to say that.
This one has a 30% chance that anybody's ever going to see it.
Sorry, you never know. This may
You're never
going to
see it.
It's sometimes it's like the audio is an issue. We've got some great ones that we can't use. Yeah. And like one guy was like 80 something. I don't think we'll ever get him back. It's hard, but you know, we try. We do. So if you're
Ouija
out
board.
there, we
I'm glad you lost my episode. Let's do another one.
There we go. Let's do it again. If you're out there and you said, "Hey, I came on that show, but it never aired," you too may be in the lost pile.
We can actually say we were on the show.
Well, now we're going to spend this whole episode referencing things that happened then. Remember that great moment?
Yeah. No, the good news is I never remember anything I talk about day to day. So this will be fresh and new and exciting. And you guys know each other, by the way. Let's establish for the audience, right?
So, yes. I met Mike in probably 2004 in doing stand-up. And I consider, though I don't do stand-up a ton anymore, just as a general entertainer, a mentor, because he had some words of encouragement, a little tough love, early on. So I didn't love him probably in the first couple of years I knew him.
Really? But I don't remember this. What did I say?
Remember this.
Go home, kid.
No,
you suck.
He said,
"Who am I?
Vinyl siding. That's what you should be doing." I remember this and I'll never forget this because it was, like I said, it made a big impact. I was booked for a show at the famous Haha Cafe in North Hollywood, California. And I think Mike was either running the night or something, and he was asking me who was coming to see me. I said, "Oh, I don't know. I was booked for it." So just for people who aren't comedians, there's a distinction of like a bringer comedian who's supposed to bring X amount of people in order to get stage time, or a booked act. So I was new in the game. I was usually a bringer, and this is one where they like called me in, and I felt big for my britches. And I came in and I said, "What? I'm not a bringer on the show. I was booked." And Mike said, and I'm sure you don't remember this, but you said, "You're a bringer. Elvis Presley is a bringer. He just brings a stadium worth of people. Who are you that you're not a bringer? If nobody's here to see you, then what are we doing here?"
That's a great point,
and at the time, all I could think was, what a jerk this guy is. But years later,
came to New York to get roasted. What happened?
No.
Bring back the other episode.
Here's where it comes back. But within like a year or two, I realized that he was 100% right.
Yeah.
And that you should always look at yourself as being responsible for there being an audience, whether you're like Mike does now, where he sells out anywhere he goes because he's built the kind of reputation. But when you have no reputation, as I didn't, and you didn't work the phones as I didn't, you deserve to be dressed down by somebody who understands. And it was something that stuck with me, and I've been a much, better performer, business person ever since. So I have a handful of people who I consider, kind of seminal people who really steered me in the right direction in life. You happen to be one of them.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely.
that.
And now that's why I haunt you.
Yes.
And wherever this
You
guy
should
shows
haunt
up,
me.
he's like, "What
Come
are you
on,
doing
man.
here?"
I just found out you're down by Atlantic City, and my first thought is, I got a show. Let's do it. Come on, get on the show. Let's go. What are we waiting for?
Where are you in Atlantic City performing, by the way?
It just came through the other day. So November 15th, I'll be at the Claridge.
did say Claridge.
How do you say it?
Claridge.
Claridge. The Claridge
Is that a casino hotel? It is a casino. I've been reading a lot about Atlantic City lately, and
They're doing some weird stuff over there. So a lot of stuff that
right?
used to be casinos is now like, I don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah, but to me, to be asked to perform in a place like that lets me know they know I'm going to sell tickets. So I don't have to go over to, let's say, the Borgata. I don't have to go to resorts. I don't have to get tortured by the powers that be. I'm going to where I was loved and asked to come.
Right.
So I will make sure that it's sold out, and we'll have a great, great show. And then eventually they'll start bringing in other entertainers that will follow suit, and away we go. So my first thought was, I know you came all the way to New York from Atlantic City. Dude, I just booked a show. It's November 15th. Come do the show. Oh. Come do the show.
I accept.
And then I'm going to say to
And
you,
I'll bring.
you better bring some people.
Damn right I
Bring
will.
one, because I would definitely.
I'll
I've never
bring
seen you on stage.
Yeah,
I've never seen you live either.
Well, we got to make that happen.
I would
you
love
really
that.
need to come and see your
Yeah,
show.
that'd be fun to do.
This way we could make sure that you never lose another episode.
Yeah.
But, you think about the Ha Ha Comedy Club on Lancashire Boulevard, North Hollywood, was brand new. So everybody really had to try somehow to tell anybody, come and watch me perform. And even if it's not me, watch the other people. And so way before social media, you had to hustle. You had to make a flyer,
Flyers.
a postcard, get on any talk show, anything you could possibly do, walk down the street and beg a stranger. It was very difficult. But then eventually, as time went on, of course, social media, you don't have to make flyers or do anything. You just hope they're following you so you could say it that way.
Yeah.
But still, I always wanted to put on a good show no matter who was in the show, especially when we were doing Italian-themed shows or just a one-off. So we're not there on Friday or Saturday. We're there on a Tuesday, which is hard to draw.
When you say doing a lot of Italian-themed shows and stuff, so you have been in this business a long time.
Yeah.
You're out in L.A. You come from out here, right?
I was born in Jersey City, which your buddy and I, we know each other from the city where we were from.
Yeah.
And, the lost episode of him and I talking about the streets of where we're from.
That's true, yeah.
And then suburbs. But I cut my teeth as a comedian in Los Angeles, not New York, not New Jersey. I started in New Jersey, but I was an actor here in the city for many, many years before I even thought I would tell a joke. I never thought I was going to become a comedian. I didn't want to. I wanted to be Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
But I do come from a traditional Italian family. My mother is from Dronia, Campobasso, Italy. My father's, he has Salerno connections, but he was born in Jersey City. But everybody in my family has blonde hair and blue eyes, and I had thick blonde hair when I was a kid. So when I moved out to California, I was trying to get on a soap opera. I was trying to work in the business. I knew I was never going to play a mob boss. I knew I was never going to play that Italian guy. But one day I was talking to my friends, and I said, I read for this movie, and I got a part, and I'm an Irish cop. They're going to whack me in the first 30 seconds of the movie. And he goes, well, why don't you tell them that you come from Italian roots? And I go, so what's that going to make me look like? I'm a mob boss? What are you going to do? You're going to dye my hair? What could it be? Besides, I don't really have that. And somebody was listening and said, that's kind of funny. You really don't look like you sound. I'm friends with this woman. Her name is Mitzi Shore, and she owns the Comedy Store. Why don't you go in there and act like that?
What?
So I went over to the Comedy Store, and I had an audition, and I did impersonations. I did Robert De Niro, and I did John Travolta, and Rocky, the traditional impersonations that some stand-ups were doing back at the time when Andrew Dice Clay made that really famous. In fact, he was actually in the room when I did my audition.
Wow.
So she said to me, why would you do that? Why did you do that? And I go, because I'm an actor. And she goes, this isn't for actors. This is for stand-up comedians. But there's something in you. Why don't you come back in a couple of months and try again? And I went back in a couple of months, and I did the same routine. I did Rocky, and I did De Niro. And she said to me, I don't understand. Why did you do that? I go, listen to me, lady. I really don't even want to be in California. I'm not a stand-up comedian. I can't stand living out here. My Jeep broke down. I can't get a good slice of pizza. I got to get the hell out of here.
And she said,
And
that's
she goes,
what you should be doing.
that's who you are. I'm like, what? What? And they made me a paid regular.
Oh, that's amazing.
What year was that?
Oh, gosh, I think it was 89, 90.
So you really are talking about, I mean, especially like comedy being what it is. You're talking about Johnny Carson still on. It's still a real club at that point, right?
I'll tell you something. You could smoke cigarettes in the club.
Wow.
People
I
in the
remember
audience
those
were
days.
smoking cigarettes.
I mean, I was from Jersey. You could smoke cigarettes everywhere most of my life until not that long ago, yeah.
Well, you remember when they came in and said, okay, no clubs would smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, sure.
However, at that time when they annihilated cigarette smoking in clubs, the entertainer still could smoke because it said it was a prop, part of his act.
Wow.
So you would watch Dice smoke a cigarette in front of an audience who couldn't smoke.
Wow, that's wild. Think about that.
And he smoked so much, you were having a cigarette anyway.
Yeah.
You went home stinking like smoke.
Probably true.
Isn't that wild? But I never thought I was going to be a comedian. Now, as a comedian, I book more work as an actor because they'll see you doing stand-up and say, you know what, this guy's right for this role in this movie. And I would say at least 90% of the films that I've worked on, I got because someone saw me doing stand-up.
That's amazing. Because we talk about this a lot. I used to go with my college roommate. He was a stand-up. And he was doing okay for himself when we were in college. He'd done a couple of spotlight things, and he got a little bit on Comedy Central, one of those, like, in between the commercials. Like, he was, and he was doing ethnic tours. He was Iranian. He was doing the... they call it the Axis of Evil comedy tour,
Really?
something like
Who?
that. Sina Ghaznavi. He went by the name Sina John, but he had been in L.A., come back to the East Coast. Anyway, I was a bringer constantly. That's why I was brung.
You were
I
brought.
was brung to a lot of stuff. But we talk a lot about the fact that when you're a comic, it seems to me as an outside observer, it's like a vocation. Like a lot of these people, I think yourself included, can't not get up on stage. Do you feel like you've become that, or are you always going to be an actor who's just good at doing comedy and doing comedy? Are you sort of outside that cult?
When I first started doing stand-up, I said to myself, I'm a good actor, so I'm going to play the role of a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
But you do have to write your own material. So in my mind, I created a character. New Jersey's bad boy. Don't mess with me. I'm going to get you.
Mm.
And it worked for a long time. Then I realized I can actually make more money if I learned the technique of hosting, television appearances, clean comedy, and a point of view. So if I was hired to host something, I'd make a lot more money saying, and now coming to the stage is...
Yeah.
Whereas I realized not that many stand-up comics could do it because they wanted to do their jokes.
Yeah.
Which is silly, because if you get paid a hell of a lot more money to be a host, take the job.
Right.
So I feel...
That's the point. That's my point. Yeah. They can't not perform.
Yeah. I actually enjoy all of it, and I do love being an actor as well. But I will not sit around waiting for an opportunity. And stand-up, when it comes around, and you do really, really well on stage, and you're going to get this from a lot of comedians, they'll tell you, whatever that drug is, once it goes into your vein, you are done.
Yeah.
You're going to want it all the time.
That's
you can't
what I
get
get
rid of
the
it.
sense. It's like a drug.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It'll get you higher than anything, especially on a night where you know you're doing really good and everybody's laughing. And then, of course, I'm doing this 32 years. After 32 years of doing stand-up, you might get bored of your act. People might yell out something they want you to do, something that they saw. Can you repeat a joke? They go there specifically to do it. And I have many routines that I don't do anymore. I really won't even remember how to do it. Yeah. But yet they'll yell it out. And that kind of makes you feel like, man, it's kind of like being a singer with a hit album from a long time ago.
Yeah. I can get that.
But once you get so free, and we were talking about this before, these new jokes that I'm going to be doing, because, I just got engaged for the first time in my life a couple days ago. Oh, how is this not? Thank you very much. I just told everybody on your show for the first time.
That's wonderful.
I'm taken.
Don't worry.
Nikki, ignore the phone calls.
We'll refine it for your 10th anniversary.
But
oh, no shit.
How is this not going to be a stand-up routine?
Yeah. Of course.
How can you?
She might start a career.
Mike, And then she'll blow me off. Hey, I'm not taking anymore. Get rid of this episode.
We're gonna lose this one too. Is she Italian?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
But
radical today.
From Atlantic City.
Yeah, from Atlantic City. Tough girl.
Really?
Yeah.
The chance of him being a headline involving a knifing is about 70%.
Yeah. We got to go perform in Atlantic City and go home.
Yeah, right?
You're staying in the hotel? No. We're going to get out of here. I filmed a special at the Borgata many years ago, and the joke was I got caught stealing from the hotel. And the cops, I had the Atlantic City cops come and get me and escort me to the show and escort me to Tony Baloney's Pizza, which is where they picked me up. You know, we scheduled the whole joke the day before. And so when the cop comes over and he goes, you got caught taking things from the hotel. And I go, I didn't take anything. He goes, you stole a chair. You know, the joke. And of course, I have the chair with me on stage.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't do that joke anymore, but
you're still stealing chairs. And that's the kind of commitment.
you know what?
That's the vocation I'm talking about.
When I was younger, of course, when you're not making a lot of money, you would leave a hotel with as many toilet rolls as you can, toilet paper rolls and soap and whatever.
I think that's Italian people more than even money. I will never forget my dad, who's a very successful businessman. When I took over the National Italian American Foundation, we would have our big gala, New York gala at Cipriani's 42nd Street. And so my dad came. He was very proud. You know, his son had taken the reins of this national organization, and our sponsors always gave us stuff for the gift bags. One of our great sponsors was Del Grosso Tomato Sauce, a family that's been making sauce for 100 years in the middle of Pennsylvania, just wonderful people. And they would put, generously, one jar at each of the seat. We had like maybe 500, 600 people. And, you know, of course, some people just don't take the stuff. And I'll never forget the glow of my first successful gala. I'm all happy. We've honored all these wonderful people. And there's my dad. I don't know who he got to on my staff, gave him one of the boxes. And he's just taken every single jar that's left in the 500-seat event center, you know, this event space. And I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, I'm not wasting these. He goes, if mommy doesn't want to cook or I'm not feeling well, I'll just doctor it up a little bit. I'm like, this is the greatest thing in the world. He could not leave. Well, he must have taken 24 jars, whatever was left. And, you know, flowers off the table, whatever. My hotel rooms, it's like hunting season for my family. My mother's got every sample of every brand in all her guest rooms. It looks like a hotel because everywhere we go, we take everything off the cart, whatever it is.
You guys need to come to my house. My entire basement is nothing but what I took from places. I actually created a new joke. I said I didn't steal it, I took it. Stealing was a plan. You knew it was there. You went there on purpose to steal it and go. Taking,
It's a compulsion.
you didn't know it was there. Then you saw it and you said, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I'm taking
I'll take
this.
it.
I'm taking this.
I didn't steal it. I took it. You should have tied it down. And if you're touring the world, how can I not take something? I mean, I'm looking at your place.
What are you supposed to buy? What are you supposed to buy souvenirs?
Please don't buy it. Look at this. This is so nice. It's not that big a deal. They're not going to miss it. They might not even air this episode.
Yeah, there's a good chance the evidence will be gone. Just
But to me, it's a story.
yeah.
It's a story. And when somebody comes over to your house, you could say, oh, look at this. What's that? Oh, it's an espresso cup. I had a little espresso. I went on this talk show in Little Italy. Oh, did they give it to you? No, I took it. They don't give you nothing. They gave me a cookie. That was it.
It's true. I'm bad for that stuff, too.
Look at all the great things you got. I mean, really, I would love to take the pillow. It says pastina. Where am I going to get it? Where'd you even get it?
I had to make these. We make these. These are, you know, I have a bad habit of clipping stuff, too. And I like airlines and things. I was getting dressed today, and I have like all these Italian hats. I'm always picking Italian. I have my Alitalia hat. And I was thinking of the fond memories I had, and I said, you know, I wonder what happened when I moved. I had a box of espresso cups from the airline where they had like Magnifica Classe. I used to have a card when I was at IAP, and they would let me have free upgrade to Magnifica Classe. And every time I took the cups, I don't even know how they let me back on the planes. One time I took the bedding. I have bedding somewhere from Alitalia. I don't know why. It was just compulsive need to take, I guess. I don't know.
I'm going to go on
bizarre.
record to say this, and I hope everybody's watching. Out of everything in this room, guess what I would take first?
This is a great game.
Not my glasses.
His sweater.
Oh, we're going to manufacture this.
I just want it.
This will be out.
It's too small for me.
Yeah.
I would break out of that.
We're going to have these. These are coming in.
Really?
Yeah, we're starting to
See?
manufacture these. Yeah.
What does it say on the back? Anything?
No, we're going to put a patch on the front, I think. We're going to put something. We're working on that part.
All right,
now.
so then I got good taste.
Yes, he does.
I got good taste. I
Right.
would take the sweater. I'm sitting here saying to myself, what would be the first thing I would take? There's a lot of things in here that I would take.
That's a good question.
But somehow, if he wasn't looking, like he went to the bathroom and he just left the sweater here, right in the bag.
And it would keep the coffee cup from rattling around in there. So it works both ways.
Sweater.
We're a bunch of thieves.
I had a friend do that at a party once.
We're takers.
We're not thieves. We're
You're a
like-
taker. You know what? You're a taker.
We don't not planning nothing.
My mother used to say that you're a real taker.
Is that really?
But I don't think that's what she meant.
Probably not.
You don't give, you always take. Yeah, I'm still doing it.
Chaz Palminteri always says that. There's two kinds of people in the world, givers and takers. He says the takers eat well, but the givers sleep well. That's his big advice to people.
And while they're sleeping, sorry, I cursed.
You can curse.
Are we
just
allowed
beep
to?
it out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you beep it.
Yeah, we bleep. We're kids. We're a family shows. A lot of beeps.
No, of
Good.
course.
Keep it family.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Nice Italian family.
Yeah, we got a lot of multi-generation, like people who listen with their kids or grandkids and stuff like that. So we try to, what do you call that? Blue? Blue is.
Yeah, we don't work blue here.
We
at
don't
the
work blue.
Keep
Italian
it
American
clean.
Red, white, and
podcast.
green. That's what it is. We don't work blue.
Let me tell you guys
But
something.
for the
I
sweater.
recently went to Toronto to do a show. Most of my mother's closest bloodline lives in Toronto, Canada. For whatever reason, they couldn't migrate to the United States, and they became the Italians of Toronto, and they're extremely bilingual and short and extremely traditional. So I get to go there all the time.
But sure.
And I was doing this one show, a particular show, and so everybody said, would you go over to this sponsor's house for lunch? And I'm like, well, I really don't want to eat before I perform. It's going to slow me down. What does it all entail? And he goes, oh, we're just going to go over to this guy's house, and his friends are going to be there. I really should have filmed the whole thing. We went into a basement that hasn't changed probably in 100 years. The grandmother and the great-grandmother were still alive. No such thing as a dishwasher. We're in the basement, not upstairs. She made a 7-course meal. We ate for 3 hours. Started
show
at
of your
1
life.
o'clock. I wasn't done till like 3:30, 4 o'clock. It just kept going and going and going. And the plastic was on top of the table. And then the first course, the second course. The women never sat down with the men. They were going in and out of the kitchen. The two sisters and the grandmother never sat in the room. I was just like in heaven. And I'm looking at everybody like, wow, the Italians really are the same. Wherever you go, their tradition is so built in that it's the same.
Yeah.
Now, you're in Toronto, Canada, but everything looked like we were in, let's say, New York or New Jersey, in an old school basement with food that just kept coming and coming and coming. And, of course, the traditional food. I don't eat fish. I've never put a calamari in my life. I don't even know how they were saying it. Whether you say calamari or galama, whatever it is. And then the long hots. And then, of course, they were all Calabrese. So when they were talking to each other, I can only understand certain amounts of Italian, but I'm like, well, I don't even know what you said. What the heck is that?
Yeah.
What is a cadiche? You mean quesadilla? What? Quesadilla? What? But it was just the greatest time. And then, of course, she came out with dessert, and she made the dessert.
I'm not surprised.
7-layer cake or whatever it
Yeah.
is, and then pies and cake, cookies. I'm like, come on.
No, you can't.
Come on, where am I going?
You
I'm
find-
going to bed, lady. I have a show. So when I walked out on stage to do the show, I just told everybody about my afternoon, and everybody's laughing their asses off. And all I'm really doing is just saying, this is what happened. And even if they weren't Italian, they're saying to themselves, yeah, those people are like that.
Yeah, that's true.
They do
that's
that.
fair. Yeah.
Because if you say you're not going to eat it or you're not going to touch it, they do get angry.
Yeah, sure.
This lady looked at me. She goes, you don't eat that? And I go, well, I'm allergic to fish. And she just looked at me and goes, no, you're not. No, you're not. I go, well.
I've got an
Yeah,
EpiPen that says different.
And everybody, what a great time. I forgot why I brought that up, but
But it's
Don't you
true.
just love tradition?
what'd you
man?
take?
Everybody's like that everywhere. Yeah, what'd you take from
What'd
the
you
house?
take from the house?
I actually didn't take anything. There were too many great things in this lady's house. She'd have known.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Should've
old
known.
timers,
That's the truth.
absolutely. Yeah, they
Yeah.
know where everything is.
You ever
kidding
go
me?
into an Italian household and they're washing the dishes in a sink?
Oh, yeah.
There's no such thing as a dishwasher.
I gotta tell you, even my wife, like I'll put stuff in the dishwasher. For some reason, my wife doesn't like the dishwasher. She never uses it, washes it. If she does the dishes, it's by hand. If I do it, it's the dishwasher. She's
Dishwashers are great.
My mother had
yeah,
a
me too.
dishwasher in the kitchen her whole life. You know what she would call it? Mitigan. Oh, no. Get it out.
It's crazy.
Mitigan. What are you, Mitigans?
Even like the microwave. My wife still refuses. I mean, my wife's born here, and she thinks my mom. We had a microwave in our house. It was used for water to make like tea. I think that was it. It was basically like a glorified tea kettle. It was nobody used a microwave in my house. I mean, we did as kids, but like adults, no. And my wife will not use it. She thinks something about how it radiates your food or something. Like if I gotta heat the bottle for the baby, she's like, don't put it in the microwave. I'm like, but it's just a microwave.
Yeah.
But no, for her, it's gotta be done the old way.
There was no microwave in my house growing up.
No, it's
My mother would say flat out, what are you going to do with the microwave? You're going to put something in it? You're going to die.
That's
You're going to die.
yeah.
Couldn't even answer the phone. In fact, I took a picture of a married couple and 2 kids on this last cruise ship that I was on, sitting at a restaurant, and all 4 of them are on their cell phones. The one kid was probably 6, the other kid was 9, and the mother and father, they never looked at each other. They stared at their phones, even when the food came out. And I said to myself, I'm so glad I didn't grow up in this generation, because when we sat at table with mom and dad, that's it.
Yeah.
This conversation was that.
Yeah.
And I miss it so much.
They got
Where
to
you-
focus on you and break your balls.
Oh,
That's it.
what'd you do in school today? What did you? Oh, and don't touch your food until your father sits down.
Mm-hmm.
See, luckily my father ran out on us, so we could touch our food whenever we wanted.
Now
What
we're
we
gonna have to
couldn't
cancel
do-
this episode.
What we couldn't do was go out for cigarettes. That was forbidden. Forbidden in our household.
We went out for cigarettes. They were for him. Go to the store, pick me up 2 packs.
Yeah, he went out for his own, it turns out.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, we had dinner together as a family every night, and my mom had everything on a rotation. Like whatever she made on a Wednesday was same thing. It was like, one pasta fazool, lentils, fish one night, and it was very structured that way, and we kind of knew what was coming, and I relish that, because you see all these people on their phones and stuff like that. It's just a different mentality of what it means to spend time as a family. That's why, you talk about Make America Italian, right? This whole kind of slogan, and obviously it capitalizes on this make anything from the 2016 election. When I was at NEAF, the election was going on, and they had this website where you could customize those red hats to say whatever you wanted. And so I don't know what had come up in conversation, and I bought one for myself that said "Make Sunday Italian Again," and I took it back to the foundation. I didn't realize how much pushback we were going to get, but of course I never do. But I said to the board, I'm like, we should do something with this, because the idea was not about just like getting people to return to tradition. The idea was, what is happening to family time in this country, and maybe our community could be a model for how to prioritize that around one kind of weekly meal, because even in our own case now for Italian Americans, I can't tell you how many times people will say, oh, the kids got ballet recital or a football this or this, that, and the other. And my argument is always, what are they going to remember down the line 30, 40 years from now? Is it going to be football practice, or is it going to be time with their grandparents? I think it's going to be time with their grandparents or extended family. And it is something that I always think kind of deserves a focused effort. The idea that we're running far, far away as a society from these like very simple times together. How do we prioritize them and get people to focus?
One of the things that I see, and kind of to your point, is it seems like the things that are prioritized now are very... It's not about you just being your family behind closed doors with each other. It's about showing the world you being your family. So I think a lot of things are outside and external, and a lot of it, like so much of our society is for show.
Yeah.
So I think that the idea of just staying in the house and just being with one another, like, but nobody sees it. So it's almost, we're in a society now where it's like, well, then if I'm not getting patted on the back for doing what I'm doing, then is it really happening?
No, it's kind of scary.
I would give anything to go back in time and relive a few Sundays.
Yeah, me too.
Because in our house, and I guess when we were kids, didn't even realize this was a traditional way to have Sunday. Didn't even realize everybody on the block was doing the same thing, because there was a lot of Italians in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, Jersey City. There was Italian people everywhere. You could knock on your neighbor's door back in the day. Can I get a little pinch of sugar, you know? But coming home from church, me and my two brothers and my father, my mother would be in the kitchen, and you knew that pot of what we called gravy, we did call it gravy, was smoking up the house, man. It just smelled so good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my mother knew that we were coming from the Italian deli with the Italian bread, and that pot was filled with sausage, meatballs, braciole, pork, sometimes pepperoni, the little kick in the ass or whatever it was. That little pepperoni was probably left over from some antibas that was on the table at one time. Yeah. And it smelled so good. So we'd come walking in with those loaves of bread. Table be set in the other room. And you took the top of that bread, stuck it in the gravy, hope you didn't burn the crap out of the roof of your mouth. Yeah. We put a little grated cheese on the top, and boom. Yeah. And then take the whole piece of bread, turn it around, shove it back in, so that she didn't realize you took the ass of the bread off. And my mother would come in the room, everybody's looking nice, and she put her hand at the bottom and said, "Oh, which one of you bit the ass?
That's great.
Which one of you bit the ass? I'm going to crack you in the head." Because you know what you did? You're filling up on bread. You're not going to have your dinner. Yeah.
Remember
that? You're filling up.
Filling up on bread.
Filling up.
I still think about that.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
I had that conversation the other day about going out. When you'd go to a place, like for big, holiday, not holiday, but like a birthday or this, you go like an Italian restaurant that was like a neighborhood restaurant, and the bread and the treat that it was to have breadsticks. And like, they don't even, like the breadsticks, I don't think they make the kind of breadsticks they used to make anymore. They're like even like the Stella d'Oro ones, those were like such a treat to have when you go to a restaurant. And to me, it was so fancy to have breadsticks,
Yep.
It's like, what the hell? What I think was so great about this, but
you have like a long breadstick holder.
I used to love that they were like cigars. That was like me. Yeah,
I'm five, man.
Exactly right.
Watch out.
Like the best
Dip it in the gravy there.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool, but you don't get that stuff anymore.
You do when you come to my house.
Yeah.
I'm not a good cook, and I really don't make gravy from scratch. I don't know how, but the entire town does.
Yeah.
That lady that I was telling you about in Canada,
yeah.
You should have seen her line of sauces in all those jars. It was just something right at it. You felt like you were in Italy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the lady couldn't have been any nicer. And you know what was really wild, too? She had blonde hair and blue eyes.
No, there you go.
Yeah. My whole family's blonde hair, blue eyes.
That's the Lombard gene. It is. That's what it is. It's in most of Central Italy, because you're Molisana. Your family's from Molise.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of like Molise, Abruzzo, you get a lot of Lombard gene.
We were considered Bruzzese, but she did tell us the history. I mean, I wish when we were younger, we were smarter to say to our family, don't sell the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's where?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's nothing. It's the bathroom's outside. And they talked you out of it. I'm like, well, no, that's perfect. Perfect. It's where? How many people are in the town?
I know.
How did you get to school? My Aunt Mary used to say all the time, I went to school on a donkey. I go, what did you learn? She goes, nothing.
How to get donkey shit out of a shoe.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Those great stories, man. Yeah.
Those are beautiful places. And nowadays, we did a conference the other day at the Consul Generals at the Italian Consulate about Italy and the U.S. and the Italian Americans. And one of the things we kind of came to the conclusion, I was like, those kind of places that are out there in the middle of nowhere, they may be the best hope for the future, because the environment's cleaner, the life is slower in a digital age where people can work kind of as nomads. Who wants to live in cities anymore when you can live in these places? They have a lot more, I think, future. I was saying, like in an era where it's really becoming harder and harder to be human, to do those really simple human things like a meal together, a slower pace. Those are the kind of places where you can preserve that humanity the easiest. And I think they're going to have an extended value to the world, because there is something about a slow kind of the bathrooms outside. But who was saying, put your feet in the grass? Somebody was saying it the other day. Sometimes you got to touch grass and like just get yourself attached and remind yourself of the humanity of things. And it's not easy to do,
Yeah, but we should. You're right. You're 100% right.
I tickle old people. That's how I get back in touch.
That's very nice of you.
They can't get away from you.
Yeah,
I think they like it.
I just want to.
That's
I have
hilarious.
an image in my head now of you tickling.
Come
an
here.
old
Coochie, 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 coo.
Half of them can't even feel it.
Yeah.
You are perfect. You are a perfect candidate to tickle an old person. I can completely see that.
I'd like to see the criteria, but I'll take that.
Yeah, no, I could see it. I see it in my head.
I would love for you guys to somehow, we should do this.
Sunday dinner?
No, well, we could do that too. The election video that we did.
Oh, yeah.
That you're in.
Oh, that's right.
We got to put that up on the internet. I think it would be
Well,
cool
let's
if you guys
real
did
quick,
this
and I'm sure
because-
most people know this, but I don't know how long ago, but probably your first viral moment, right?
Uh-huh.
Was he did his bit about being the first Italian American president, and it was so funny, and it caught fire, and so I guess he had an idea. I was just kind of like a dope who was just kind of hanging around the background. Very funny though, funny dope.
I'm sure. Funniest
we're
dope there is.
Just tickling old people in the back.
Creepy dope.
I never said creepy, John. But we did this video of like a press conference with him as the first Italian American president. It was hysterical. So I don't know where that is, but I would love to see that
I have it.
out of the vault.
I kind of
I
remember
have
that. I didn't know you were in it, but I remember it.
Well, what had happened was I went on the Byron Allen Comics Unleashed show, and I did this thing about if I was running the country, we'd have whacked Osama bin Laden, and who knew? You don't know these things are going to go as viral as they did, and it took on fire. And it went into the millions, and I got really lucky and just started touring. And that's when I called my friends and said, hey, man, we should capitalize on this. Why don't we get a cast of characters and pretend I'm actually running for president of the United States, and we'll do videos, and we'll put the cast of comics in it. So the one of the first ones we did was an election. And it was an improv, and everybody in the room sat there with their pad, like a regular
Like a press conference.
like a press conference, and they were asking me questions, and the answers were just so stupid. But you can't stop laughing. In the meantime, there were two hitmen behind me. And one was our friend, rest in peace, James Price. The guy was like 400 pounds. And his joke was he can't stop falling asleep.
Yeah.
So every time I said something, he would fall asleep, and I go, would you come on?
He was a funny man.
Well, he was the best.
He was a sweet guy,
He's a
too.
sweetheart of a guy. And then, of course, the answers were so stupid that the people of the press didn't know how to look at me till finally you came on the scene in the back, and he was asking questions that were out of line, let's say. And the hitman behind me looked at him. Boy, remember Vinny Ciceri?
Oh, God.
And the way he looked at you?
Also a sweet man, but he
He's
was
a very sweet guy, but
Was
he's
he really?
terrifying. And then,
I remember it. I do remember it.
That's right. You in the back of the room with your little black leather jacket, and the two guys came up to you. That was hilarious. I even remember what you were saying. Mr. Marino. No, I made them call me Mr. Mike. I didn't want to use my last name. I don't know.
It was. Where did we shoot that? Was that somebody's house?
It was in somebody's garage.
Oh, God.
But it
We were
came
so
out
fancy.
so good.
It really did look good.
It came
Who
out
shot
so
that?
good.
Do you remember?
Bunch of guys. I mean, I don't know who they are anymore.
They did a good job.
They're not
They did a
around
good job.
anymore, let's
It
say.
was funny.
You've done some Italian-only tours, right?
Well, so that whole group of comics that were in that, there was a fella by the name of Joey Cerise who did like a Meatballs of Comedy show, and he would do various restaurants and things, and he did well, and it was such a great. There was a lot of great comics. I'm still friends with so many guys who kind of came through there. So I think Mike was kind of like a bigger deal than that show. But but he liked us all, so he would, kind of every now and again pop into wherever we were and do a set, and it was always a thrill when he did.
I appreciate that. I come from humble beginnings, man. Show business. You could be famous on Friday and working at Home Depot on Monday after the weekend. So you got to be humble. And why wouldn't you want to go be around people that are coming up? You might see something that you think is great and say, hey, come along like with me and be part of what I'm doing. I do that all the time. We just started doing a series of TV commercials for the Laugh Factory in Hollywood. And the guys that came at me are in their 20s.
Yeah.
And they saw what I was doing, and they said, hey, do you mind if we create this little scenario? It's kind of be a little bit of a Godfather-esque, and you're going to be the big boss, and this girl's going to be the therapist. And I go, how's that going to be a comedy type thing for the Laugh Factory? Well, when you watch this 60-second commercial, these kids are geniuses.
Yeah.
And they're looking at me like, wow, we got superstar Mike Marino. And I'm looking at them like, you guys are going to be bigger than I am.
Yeah,
so I'm working with you. So when you come to the end of the commercial and I wrote the tag, The Laugh Factory, you'll find the funny or we'll find you. It hit.
That's pretty good.
And it's going to hit really hard. So, and I was telling Brandon also, the girl who plays the therapist is Jacqueline Marfuji. And she does a lot of stand-up with me. She's the voice of Barbie doll in my little series, The Adventures of G.I. Giovanni, which is what we do with the little G.I. Joe dolls. Mm-hmm. And her father's the president of Locatelli Cheese.
Wow.
So it works.
Yeah.
You should actually have her on the show, maybe even interview her dad. Maybe he's the big shot.
Yeah. And she's great.
Is she? Yeah.
Well, we're all going to Chicago to do... the Des Plaines Theater, which is...
That's Ronnie Onesti.
Ron Onesti.
Another great Italian-American. I've known Ronnie a long, long, long time.
Is that right?
Yeah, oh yeah, gotcha.
Shout out, Ron Onesti.
The one and only Ron Onesti.
Thank you for everything you do for me.
Yeah, beautiful guy.
So I've done a lot of shows with him for many, many years. So now we're going to go out there, and I'm going to be the opening act for Frankie Avalon.
Oh, wow.
Which the first time I ever opened for a celebrity was maybe 30 years ago, and it was Frankie Avalon.
Really?
I hope he remembers me.
Wow.
But now we're sharing the bill.
That's cool. Yeah. That's really cool.
Thank you, Ron Onesti. And then from there, I'm going to be on a float in the Columbus Day Parade in Chicago.
That's kind of cool.
Really cool.
With the guys. And
They've
then
got a big parade in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
And then we're going to do a show. So it all
That's
worked.
cool.
So we'll call up some of our friends like Jacqueline and say, hey, you be on the show, and a couple other cats will be on the show, and we'll do the float, and we'll do this, we'll do that, and hopefully everybody will be happy, and we'll sell a shitload of tickets, and we'll call our sponsors. So sometimes, just being humble. So I'll give you another, for instance, of humbleness, ladies and gentlemen, humbleness.
Nobody will tell you about how humble they are more than this guy.
They're not gonna air this episode. They're gonna humbly do away with it. I was walking through the airport. This happens quite often. Hey man, can I take a picture of the back of your shirt? Because this shirt says "Make America Italian Again," which I actually trademarked many years ago because I wanted to sell merchandise. So I says, sure, you could take a picture of the back of the shirt. And he takes a picture. Then he comes around the front, and I have these jeans that say it too, and a tracksuit. And he's looking at me, and he goes, you're like a walking billboard. Do you mind if I take a picture of the front? I go, sure, go ahead, take a picture of the front. Now, I'm laughing because I'm waiting. Is this guy ever going to figure out that I'm actually a comedian and this is part of a show? But he didn't. No. So he sits back down, and I go over to another thing, and I see he's texting somebody. All of a sudden, he gets up and comes back over. He goes, hey, man. My wife just said, go get that guy's autograph, you idiot. That's Mike Marino. So the guy comes over and he goes, I just don't know who you are. And I go, well, I'm a comedian, and this is my trademark, and this is the name of my tour, and yada, yada, yada. And he goes, my wife said, could she have your cell phone number? She works for Alfa Romeo, and they'd like to talk to you about sponsorship. And I'm like, thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you for being humble. Because I didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there laughing, joking at Newark Airport.
At first, when you said my wife wants your number, I thought this was going to get much weirder.
Yeah.
But that's pretty amazing.
She wants one more picture with the pants down and the phone number, please. She said, in her words, let's make some art.
I brought everybody here today a shirt that says "Make America Italian Again," and I hope when you're walking around, somebody says, "Hey, man, could I take a
Oh,
picture?"
you better believe
The
it.
back
That's
of
the
your
best.
shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give them all out your cell phone number. Like, you know anybody Alfa Romeo? Who
Says
cares?
Marino 2025. Obviously, I didn't win.
I got plenty more where
We
that
get
came
rid of
from. We got-
Yeah. Now there's going to be a whole village in Botswana wearing the Mike Marino 2024 shirts.
That's why I like so much, being a live performer, because you do get to meet a lot of different people, and you never know what you're going to get involved with. Come and do a podcast. Maybe we could do some videos. Maybe we could do a series. I recently just finished a brand new special, and we're getting the phone calls now from the big shots, but it came out of nowhere. I was inducted into my high school Hall of Fame.
That's cool.
That's so awesome.
When I went to the induction, there was 20 other guys, and one guy actually was a big-time Broadway writer. He wrote the play Hairspray. I didn't even know he went to my high school, but they're different years.
Yeah, sure.
One guy had something to do with Star Wars. Well, here
Both me
comes
and him were
another
thinking,
guy.
Like, what was it? What was it?
That's exactly right. I knew that too.
There was a guy named Dan Catullo, and he graduated 10 years after me, and he was inducted because he's a 7-time Emmy Award-winning producer.
Wow.
He's also in the Guinness Book of World Records for having 250 cameras rolling at a rock concert, which is the most cameras ever used to film, and it was the group Creed. And so his credits were just
I was
outstanding.
gonna say, what a waste of 250 cameras.
Maybe, I'm pretty sure I'm accurate on this.
Yeah, I believe it.
Anyway,
Whoops.
we laughed and we joked, and he said to me, I have a bunch of comedians that I filmed. One of the last ones I filmed was a good friend of mine. His name is Sebastian Maniscalco. And I'm like, okay. Wow. And he goes, so why don't we film you? And I'm like, okay. So where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And I'm thinking, let's go to a big theater in New York. Let's go to someplace in New Jersey. And he goes, what if we shot it at the high school?
Oh, that's cool.
And I go, okay. He goes, we'll have a whole big theme, back to school, because we were both in marching band, and that school was known for having a huge marching band in the 80s and the 90s. I mean, it was like 500 people in the marching band alone.
What school did you go to?
Scotch Plains Fanwood High School. So we set the date, sold out the show, put 10 cameras around the school, and the sequence is I'm dreaming about how I wish I could just go back to school.
Oh, wow.
That's
And we did the dream. A lot of footage of me in high school.
That's
First
cool.
stage I ever did stand-up on, I was 15. And
Me
the
too.
marching band opened the show.
That's beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
So now, when did you finish filming that?
about maybe 2 months ago.
That's awesome.
So now we'll go to market, and if it comes out into the market and does really, really well, then hopefully that'll spin off into the series that I wrote, Growing Up Grand. I grew up on Grand Street in that small little town, and the show's basically just about an old school family trying to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they're Italian, but this has nothing to do with the mob or anything like that. This is just slapstick comedy that should make you laugh from the core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot. It's about, a show that's about an Italian family, not the mob. And I was going to ask you about Italian comedians that you like, right? Who are you a fan of? I always think of Ray Romano's show, because it oftentimes gets overlooked that Everybody Loves Raymond was about an Italian family, and they made it, in some cases at least, a focus of the show, right? Like they were upfront about the Italianness, and it was not just kind of an afterthought, I think, right? I haven't seen all of it, but it was conscious. And I don't know, nowadays, are we able to still do that and kind of muster the uniqueness of who we are? I think there's a uniqueness to who we are even today. But I do want to know, who are your sort of, as a fan of comedy, who are the Italian Americans that you can still watch and still get a real kick out of?
Pat Cooper.
Yeah,
I mean, you watch
Number
Pat
one answer.
Cooper.
yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, but if you watch Pat Cooper now, of videos of when he was hot, his heyday, he's saying everything that comedians are saying now. He said it. He was, and then, do you know Richard Jeni?
Yeah.
Italian
Love-
comedian from
one of my
Brooklyn.
favorite-
Died so young.
Yeah,
died
he was
young,
one of
right?
my inspirations.
Did 12 HBO specials before there was anything called the internet.
And it failed.
Dom Irera.
Dom
Yeah.
Irera.
Dom Irera. These guys are the old school Italian comedians who are doing things that, let's say, I'm doing way before I did, or way before anybody did. How about Father Guido Sarducci? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Guy
still
was-
alive, right?
He is,
Yeah,
yes.
he's still alive.
He still does performances.
Yeah.
I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but these guys were phenomenons.
Yeah.
There's an Italian actor right now doing a play that's headed to Broadway, and it's called I'm Not a Comedian, I'm Lenny Bruce. In fact, you guys should
Ronnie
have him
Marmo.
on. Ronnie Marmo.
I know him from. I know his. He had a theater company in Los Angeles.
Yep. It's
and
here
my
in New York, too.
friend is one of, like, helped run it. I actually did a play for the only play I've ever done. No one's asked me back. Was at his theater company.
What a great small world. Now,
Yeah.
Ronnie Marmo co-stars in the pilot that we did, Growing Up Grand, and his play that he's touring with now is the true story of Lenny Bruce. And he wrote it, he performs it, and he's getting huge rave reviews. He's selling out. He just did Ron Onesti's,
No, yeah.
and it's directed by Joe Mantegna from
And it's
Chicago.
been like he's been rolling with that for a while now. That just
A
keeps
good
picking
while.
up steam.
Yeah, I mean, he's headed to Broadway. He hits that on Broadway, he probably won't talk to me no more.
Probably not. Yeah, but get whatever.
He's not humble.
Get not like we are. We're the best at being humble. Unlike that Ronnie Marmo. No.
I'm the one that introduced him to Ron Onesti.
Say?
That was me.
And he taught him how to be humble.
Be humble. Take things, don't steal.
Is it, you talking about Joe Mantegna? Joe Mantegna.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
But that's small world.
I bet you any money, and I'm going to go on camera to say this, they're going to come into the city and they're going to get on Broadway. And if they do, you should have them come down here and do a little segment with you guys.
Oh,
even before.
We'd love
before.
it. That'd be
Yeah.
great. Lenny
Get
Bruce.
them before, because if they...
Yeah, that's right.
We don't wait for everybody to get to Mike Marino level before
That's
bringing
right.
him
Get
in.
him before.
We
Ow, my
catch.
shoulder.
So a couple things you glossed over, and I want to revisit. So I keep mental notes. Thing one, you said you just got engaged, and we kind of did like congratulations. That's a big change for a comedian who's been on the road and working for. Like, how are you going to domesticate? Because you got it.
I'm going to remain humble.
Yeah, you thought you were humble then.
You
Delete
wanna be
this
humbled?
episode.
Marriage will humble you.
And the second thing was 10 cameras.
That's a lot of cameras.
It's a lot of cameras. But
On my
Creed
shoot?
got 256 out of this guy.
I got gypped.
Hey, wait a minute. I have
They
10
couldn't-
cameras still. That's a
That's
ton
a
of
lot of-
cameras to begin with.
For sure.
Creed is a
it's-
ridiculous number. That 250.
Well, maybe they had...
Can you imagine the editing on that?
Yeah,
Like,
right?
No, what's the
Because that's
point?
if it's a 3-hour show, it's 3 times 250 cameras.
It's really
I don't even know how we're
ridiculous.
going to edit this show.
That's Nikki's
We're
problem.
going to cancel it.
We're just going to lose it.
10
Toss.
cameras.
Luckily,
was
you don't
really,
make
really
mistakes,
It
so they
wasn't
can
lost.
just roll it.
It was taken. That's
Yes.
how.
He didn't steal it. He took it.
Somebody took
It's different.
Yeah,
That's going to be my new shirt. I didn't steal it. I took it. It's different.
Ain't that the
And you
truth?
do. I watch your social media content. You do a lot of like your kind of morning, like whether it's walking around your neighborhood. I see you in pools all over the world. I see you in just all these like it's like where's Mike? It's like where's Waldo? But it's really fun content because everything you do is funny because you're a funny man. But this is more. It just feels like you're spending a few minutes with an old pal. And I'm wondering, like, obviously you'd mentioned that, we didn't have cell phones, at Sunday dinner. But, like, so how do you interact with social media? Like, what are you trying to get out of it? Is it just about, expressing yourself in a different way? What's, I'm not going to answer it for you.
I started my little Instagram morning walk during the pandemic because in California, we weren't around to, couldn't be around anybody, couldn't go to the club
Oh, it
anymore.
was awesome, wasn't it?
I made my mask that said "Make America Italian Again" on my friend. I tried to sell them
Never
and make
misses
some
an
money.
opportunity.
That's right.
What are you going to do?
That's right.
So I tried to stay in shape. I tried to exercise. So I just started going live every morning, and I called it Morning Walk with Mike. Well, now I can't stop doing it. I enjoy doing it. I did it on my way over here. And I see people write to me. They ask me questions. It's kind of fun. I only do like maybe 10 minutes every morning. my podcast that I do is called Live from My Mother's Basement because we shoot the show in the basement. And it's not something I wanted to do, but when you get thrown into a pandemic, everybody's running around trying to find some way to earn a living.
Yeah.
And we were live performers. What are you going to do if you can't perform?
Yeah.
You got to go get a job. So I made it work for myself, thank God. And then I have the sponsors that I picked up, and now we're back in full swing. So this new special that I did, which is probably going to be called Going Back to School, is so well done. I mean, I don't mean my portion of my performance, what they did leading up to it. The cameras that filmed the marching band going down the street with me leading the band. I'm actually leading the band with the hat on, and I got dressed up in the uniform. I mean, what a way to go back to school and relive the way that it is. And then you're looking at these 14, 15-year-old kids in the marching band looking at me like, who is he? And I go, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Just march.
And then they opened the show, so the audience went crazy listening to the marching band. And then when I finally walked out on stage, they did something really special for the school. So all the money that went in the door went to the school's drama club and marching band. Beautiful. So they made about maybe $12,000 to $13,000. The kids, along with the staff, created the stage. So the stage looks like a 1980 classroom.
Oh, cool.
And on the blackboard it says 100 times, I will not tell jokes in class. So when it said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to school, Mike Marino, when the curtain opened, you saw a traditional classroom, a cassette tape on the wall with my name on it, and I'm standing there writing on the wall, and I turn around like, oh. And I throw the chalk in the air and I go into it.
Oh, that's amazing.
So the opening line is, thank you so much for letting me come home. And then the show. And then when I was done, thank you very much. It's nice to be back. So I'm hoping that will make, hopefully, people in the industry or anybody out there who wants to get involved say, yeah, there's a series is right there. Log lines and episodes. I'm hoping it's spilling out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like, these kids are on phones. We had a phone in our house. If you touched it, you got hit with it. You guys even remember this? Coffees for adults? When I was a teenager, you didn't drink coffee.
Oh, absolutely not.
You didn't drink coffee. Everybody was sitting down having coffee. My mother go, what are you doing? This is for adults. And you were a teenager.
Yeah.
Now, teenagers and younger kids, they go to Starbucks in seconds.
My wife said that yesterday. She went to pick up Starbucks, and we were driving Hopshot at that car. She comes in, she goes, it's inundated with teenagers, and they're all spending $10 a day on these whacked out drinks with this. She's like, my mother would have killed me if I would even propositioned her for $10 to spend at this kind of thing. But like, nobody did this stuff. This was like, what are we talking about here? I am making her sound old today, but she's actually quite modern.
Let me tell you something, man. I remember when I was cutting my teeth in New York and I was coming into the city to go to classes, you went to chock full of nuts, and it was 50 cents for a cup of coffee in that blue cup. Never burnt your hand. No cardboard thing around it.
Also, date bread with cream cheese. Chock full of nuts. You ever have that? They used to have the date bread with cream cheese.
The date bread with cream
best.
cheese.
I don't even know if you could get that anywhere anymore.
Philadelphia cream cheese.
Did you ever have that by you? Did you have chock full of nuts by you?
I don't think so.
That was like New York.
Are they gone?
I think they're gone. I don't know. They must still make coffee.
Chock full of nuts.
If
I
you're
remember
out
they
there-
sold
Yeah.
coffee. I remember
It was the yellow can.
seeing that and being like,
Oh, it's good.
"This bullshit."
Let me tell you, chock full of nuts. You talk about sneaking coffee. My mother used to get chock full of nuts, made like a latte cooler thing in a glass bottle, and she'd have them in the basement, and I would sneak them when I was like 12, 13 years, like as if I was taking vodka out. I thought they were the greatest thing because we weren't allowed to have coffee, and I would take the chock full of nuts, whatever they were, latte cooler thing, and I thought it was the greatest drink in the world. What do you got coming up for the audience?
I have more shows than I know what to do with from New Jersey, New York, Chicago, Florida, Los Angeles, back to Canada. Everything is listed at mikemarino.net, or all my social media platforms are all at Mike Marino Live, my YouTube channel, my podcast. Everything is at Mike Marino Live.
No, that's great. I am very much looking forward to November, especially if you're going to jump on that.
And all of his social media stuff. Is
Remember, you
got
got to bring people.
I'll bring. I'm showing up. You said it. We have a photographic evidence,
You're a bringer now,
provided
man.
we don't lose it. And I'm going to be there.
But I'm looking forward to seeing you in it now, and I've been very much looking forward to the idea of seeing both of you in Atlantic City. That sounds fantastic. So that'll be my bringer commitment. I'll help bring some people out there, especially you guys out in the audience. That would be a great place for everybody to come down and be together and get not one but two Italian American comic voices in the same place.
We're going to get you on the show. This would be a lot of fun. Maybe we can actually show that clip before you walk out.
Live from the
Maybe right after.
And you know what? You don't have to bring anybody. I could do it myself now.
I'm just gonna go out. And plastic on the ground, empty audience. Like, oh no, Mike. Mike, I said you were a mentor. But I can't wait to see this special. I think, Mike, I think you're hysterically funny.
Thank you, buddy.
I think you're one of the smartest and nicest guys in the business who's not full of shit. Yeah. And I just love when he asked me if to come up and pinch it, and you were going to be here. I said, I'm not going to tell him.
No, I didn't know.
I wanted to surprise him. Because it's becoming a joke that I keep just you show up at places and there I am.
It happened to us last time.
Yeah, in outside of Atlantic City at the backstage blackjack thing.
That was with Joe Gorga.
Yes. You still see him?
I do. I'm still friends with him, but you know.
Is he still doing stand up?
He is. He's doing more stand up now than he did when I was. But he's using the other guy who's on
figured it out?
He's good.
Yeah,
he's good. He's got a great person. He's actually one of the most humble men.
Yeah, I like Joe a lot.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Well, this is a recurring theme of humility and the cross-pollination between you guys. I'm glad that we could bring you together. I really very much thank you for coming back.
Thank you.
Because we do hate when these things get lost or screwed up, and not everybody's as humble as offering to come back. So thank you for doing it.
All right.
It's been a great pleasure.
Thanks, man.
Mike Marino's out there, MikeMarino.net. Come to one of these shows. I'm going to be making my way to Atlantic City for sure. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys have enjoyed. We are working one T-shirt at a time on making America Italian again. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
See that you're born in Italian. If you want your life to be great, see that you're born in Italiano, and your life will be great. See that you're born in Italiano.